So Hasbro just had their third quarter earning call, and this company is saying a lot more than players realize about the future for the company and for Magic the Gathering. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today as we discuss Hasbro's third quarter earnings call and what's going on with this company. Now, overall, they're losing money. That's the simplest way of putting it. When you listen to the earnings call, you listen to what they're saying, you look at the financials of this company, and you realize they're losing money. Now, some of this is from a few bad decisions, I'm sure, but a lot of it is just the market trend that we're in right now. They still own E1 Entertainment. They're trying to offload that at the end of the year. They've got some of their consumer products not selling as well as they've liked. And overall, the toy industry as a whole is in a slump. That's the easiest way to put Hasbro in terms of a company looking forward. But most of you out there who watch my channel care about what's happening with Magic the Gathering. Unfortunately, being tied to Hasbro means this all follows the same path in the same company. If those products aren't doing well, they lean more heavily on Wizards of the Coast, which is doing well. Now, some of their gaming parts are doing okay. Baldur's Gate 3 was a big smash success. They talked about Monopoly Go being like a cash cow, kind of like, because that's microtransactions. But I don't really care about those other than the fact they are a limb. They are a part of the company. They can't just sever this stuff off. So it's all part and parcel of the whole thing. But I want to talk about what's happening with Wizards of the Coast and some of the decisions they've made overall are going to be better for this company. They have said a lot, and if you listen to what they're actually saying and know a little bit of the lingo, you can get a little bit more insight to how this company is operating. They are trying to transform, but unfortunately, during this transitional process, they are focused on leeching money from Wizards of the Coast to pay for the expansionist ideas, to move the company in the direction they want to do, and they're well in their rights to do so because, as Chris Cox said himself, this place, Wizards of the Coast, is cash easy. Okay? Money flows out of that system and it doesn't cost them a lot, and they can bleed this money into other long-term projects which will overall generate a new transformational image for the company. I'm talking about games, guys. I'm talking about toys. They don't sell the way they used to. Kids are going in new directions and they focus on toys less. We as kids, we played with toys because we didn't have video games, we didn't have iPads, right? And as the game expands outward, as this world of digital goes forward, these toys are played with less and less and for a shorter period of time. This is what the company is trying to transform into something else, either into specialized asset classes of those toys geared towards certain demographics and certain areas of the market space, being certain age groups. Like they have those custom-made G.I. Joes. Those are going to be paid for by people in their 40s and 50s who fondly remember G.I. Joe. Transformers, the deluxe leader class versions, they're like $100 a toy, or the Grimlock and the guys in Optimus Prime, the ones that are like $400 or $500 that can transform. Those aren't meant for kids. They're meant for parents, adults who have a lot of money, have a great childhood memory of it, and are buying it. But those don't pay the bottom line. The loss of all those sales in the toy industry is hurting the company. Now we can talk about Magic the Gathering because it's doing very well, online and in paper sales. Now, part of that is the write-downs they get from inventory savings by ditching stuff on Amazon, liquidating things through distribution, and making deals for licensing. As they get these products out of the warehouse, as they minimize the expenses of the carrying costs of these products, they're saving money. Now, that money is not going back into the pocketbook of Hasbro. It is a write-down on the losses they're taking from overproducing in all kinds of areas and asset classes that they own. When this starts petering down and they get into a more regular business cycle, this is where things are going to get interesting. They talked about their cross-representation with things like Disney, right? Talking about Star Wars, talking about Marvel. You got to think how this is going to blend and help both companies, as I discussed earlier in the videos I did this week, talking about the Marvel crossover. This can bleed into Star Wars and other areas, and it probably means at some point soon they may just abandon Lorcana. Don't be surprised if that doesn't come your way. But they did talk about Marvel and the matchup with Magic the Gathering, how it was going to be a multi-year kind of deal which means as they start exposing the players to it and seeing how it generates revenue, they probably have to meet certain markers, and that means they get the next level and the next level, and they get to do more and more. And before you know it, Wizards of the Coast has got universes beyond everywhere and has created a Magic the Gathering mini Marvel universe inside Magic the Gathering. This is going to be very interesting to see how much revenue that's going to generate, because they did mention how well Lord of the Rings has done. We know it made over $200 million so far, and it's still making them money now. This is the kind of cash flow that they want, because when you compare it against something like Baldur's Gate that only made $63 million, which is still phenomenal for a video game with no microtransactions, kudos to them for doing that, by the way, but it's still, that's, if you look at something like Lord of the Rings that made 3 times as much money in that same space, that's kind of crazy, right? So if you know that Magic's going to make you that kind of money, you're going to lean on it. It's the piece of the stool that is the sturdiest, it's the strongest piece of oak, and that's the one you're going to lean on to pay for everything else you're trying to work with within the company to generate revenue. Now, this is where I think things get a little more funky. We know that that means there's probably going to be price increases somewhere in the future, but I don't think it's going to come the way players probably think it is. I think it's already happened. I think Wizards of the Coast, you know, they have that forward thinking thing they say all the time. They were already thinking about this. They knew from the rejection of 30th anniversary, from the rejection that we had for, Commander Masters, that the players have an upper limit. They also know they got to revitalize Standard to get just more boxes being opened all the time. Well, when you blend this all together, plus the new deals with distributors, it probably means that they are going to be selling boxes that are left over at a discount to the distributors. It makes perfect sense. I saw that Rudy video, and this seems to bleed into that. I like that idea. Making it cheaper for LGSs to get those discount boxes, offer their own specials, but still make some revenue at it. Also, they're going to promote. They may not have said this in the actual statements they were making today, but when you have a play booster box of 36 boosters, overall, you've consolidated product lines. That lowers your overall overhead costs. It's easier on your warehouses. It's easier in your carrying costs and what you're shipping. You know the weight already. You know how much it's going to take up on the trucks. It's all fine. It also simplifies your language to all your customer base. You are streamlining things to make yourself more profitable. Not just in other areas of the company, but specifically in Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering. It takes less time, less effort, get things out. Now, when we have this money flowing down, and you have play boosters generally making them more money overall than what a draft box would do, that already is in itself a win. They have a little bit of revenue that's already being generated by that, plus all the streamlining savings, okay? When you look at those kind of savings, where's the other area they're going to make money? It's going to be Universes Beyond, absolutely, but it is going to be the premium product line. They said right now they weren't touching collector boosters. We saw that statement earlier. But now that we know where this company is going and they've already kind of fiddled with the play boosters, you can expect the premium product line to offer more. Absolutely, I guarantee you wait till Modern Horizons 3, it is going to be the bomb because they are going to charge you more. We talked about being extra 50, 60 bucks. I think they're going to charge an extra 100 bucks for that box. I think we're going to see some real gains in that area, knowing that they want to encourage people to play Standard. They are not going to jack up the prices now on those play booster boxes. I expect to see no changes in that area because they've already fiddled with it, right? But the separate things like Universes Beyond, Secret Lair type stuff, 20% increase, guaranteed within a year. That's my prediction right now, how I think I see this company working things. They have to generate enough revenue to offset the losses they're having in other CP areas or consumer product areas where they didn't see the growth they wanted. They have E1 Entertainment sale coming at the end of the year. They're keeping the best IPs. We've talked about that before, but that's still a loss they're carrying right now, and they got write-downs they have to take care of. Well, without offending the shareholders too much, I don't think the company's actually in as bad a place as the market's made it out to be today. Yeah, they lost overall percentages. A lot of our YouTube content creators are going to focus on that, but the company as a whole has very strong IPs. They have very strong IPs, and they are linking bridges with things in Disney. Things that they're lucrative to the company itself, for Disney and for Hasbro. They've done this cross-promotional stuff with all kinds of toys for the last 40 years. You think they won't do it with Magic and make a good success at it, make Disney happy and let them have more? Absolutely. How do they make the players happy? They're not going to make the mistake of Adventures in Forgotten Realms. They're going to power these superheroes properly while taking, of course, a lot of direction from Marvel Studios and how they've done the movies, hopefully, but as well as what they followed in the traditional comic book style of how these heroes should be played out. I can't wait to see what they do with it, but I know that's where they're going to charge more money, the premium products. Anybody here who is worried about play boosters, I think you have nothing to fear. That is not the area that this company wants to delve into. But either way, it was fascinating to see that, yes, they had losses and the market reacted negatively to it. But overall, I think, not unfortunately, I guess, I'm glad the company's still around. Don't get me wrong. I'm really mad at Chris Cox and those guys there, but I think he's right, and I have to give it to him. I think they're poised for a lot of strong growth. Their licensing deals are working out. They've made lucrative deals going forward in a lot of different areas. They even talked about the Magic Netflix show coming back, like actually being created and stuff, and the fact they have lots of movie deals in the pipeline, which they should. I mean, if they do things right and get the right stars behind stuff, they can make a lot of successes if they play it right. If they do it correctly without messing up. I can't wait to see what they do. But guys, this is interesting stuff, but unfortunately it comes on the backbone of Wizards of the Coast, and Hasbro has to just keep leeching cash off the company. I'll be interested to see what you guys think. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me for a bonus video day. You guys have an awesome one. We'll see you all tomorrow for our regular video, 11:15 Eastern Standard Time. And of course, if you're new to the channel, you just found me here and you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to stick around. Hit that subscribe button, join the channel, drop some comments, become part of the community we're building here on the channel. We're 486 subscribers away from reaching our goal of 20,000 subscribers on this channel, and it's because of the viewers out there that that's even possible. Guys, it's awesome. Thanks a lot for sharing the day with me. Hope you're having a great time. We'll see you tomorrow. And a big shout out and thank you, a Boomstick edition thank you to all the wonderful patrons who support this content each and every day. Because of the patrons we have on the channel, daily uploaded content all the time. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Boomstick, we're here at the end. You made it to the Ramble Jamble, but guess what? I have another video to do right now, and I can't think about anything to talk about in the Ramble Jamble because all I'm thinking about is something else, and I can't tell you because we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. See you guys then. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by.